Hey guys, this is the Are They Coming Back reading. And before I get started, I just wanted to let you guys know I am doing a couple of readings for the end of May, but I'm not doing specific individual readings for each of the signs for the end of May. Those will be posted soon for the first half of June. So as I said, this is the Are They Coming Back? I'm also going to do one that's Should I Reach Out? And then I recorded earlier a pick a card reading. So that will be what comes out from the channel for the last part of May. And I just wanted to let you guys know that. So we're going to actually dive right into this. I shuffled these cards earlier before starting the video, so they are all shuffled. And I'm not going to do individual signs during this. So what that means is that whoever watches this, whenever they watch it, this is not going to be time specific. So whenever you stumble upon this video, regardless of when that is, the reading will still stand. So it doesn't have a time limit on it. And this is for people who have the question of, are they coming back? And questioning about a romantic partner who has left, a relationship that's ended, you know, a situation where there's no communication. It seems like it's pretty much over and done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the cards a couple of times. And then to get us started, I'm just going to do the top and bottom card. Okay, so it's coming out first. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. And then from the bottom, we have the High Priestess that's also reversed. Okay, I want to just start with the High Priestess card. That's the card that I'm energetically being the most drawn to at this point. What I'm getting here is that there has definitely been a withdrawal away from this relationship. I don't sense any sort of communication happening here. I feel like the root to this issue was that there were secrets being kept. This Nine of Swords reversed, it's another card that speaks to secrets. It also energetically, for me, there's a lot of fear and worry coming off of this card. I feel like something happened and there was a lot of worry and fear that it would be found out. I feel like someone really messed up and really someone within this relationship really messed up, and they tried to, I feel like they actually did try to make sure that things were kept quiet. There was an active, gosh, I hate to say that, but it does. It feels like there was an active attempt to ensure that the secret didn't come out, but it did. And it led to a situation in which there's been a pulling away from each other, and communication has not been had between these two people since this was revealed. So let's see if we can just clarify this secret. I think that's probably what most people want to hear about. There was a card that fell out by itself. I'm just going to take that. We have the King of Swords here. So I don't think that this represents a person. I think this represents a specific energy. This card is about truth and mental clarity. This is someone who is pretty in control of their emotions. It's not that they're emotionless. They are someone actually who, they understand their emotions. They understand how to regulate their emotions and to process and feel them. It's they've learned how to turn their feelings into almost like a mental philosophical experience. Interesting. So I felt the top card energetically, wanted to pop out. It is the Ten of Cups upright. This is a very good card. We're going to need to clarify this, but this is, you know, it's the completion of the journey into a divine love that's a very well-matched union, something that has a lot of happiness and bliss and joy. Let's clarify this Ten of Cups. The Two of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like right now, in terms of this reading being about are they coming back, I would say that right now this person is weighing out how they feel in terms of what happened, in terms of the secret, the betrayal. They're weighing their feelings about that against their feelings that this is a relationship that is really solidly meant to be, and one that they really valued and were very happy within. I do feel like that's true. I think it's true for both people. I think that knowing that is why the one person tried to keep things secret that they had done, because they didn't want to lose this connection. They didn't want to lose this person. They didn't want to lose this opportunity to experience this. I feel like for the other person, the person who I guess would be considered like the wounded party here, I think they're really trying to, they're split right now 50-50 between feeling like there's no way they can move past this, there's no way they can forgive, but also the other half of them is saying, I'm like, are you crazy? Like, this is the person, this is the one, we have to figure out how to fix this, we have to figure out how to make this work. Like, there's no way, we can't walk away from them, like, they're the thing, they're the one. So let's see if we can get any insight into what might impact them, or what might make them make up their mind, or how they might lean. Okay. Okay, so coming out we have the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords both reversed. And this is clarification on this indecision. It's not something that's going to come about quickly, for sure. It is, they're not going to make a decision about this anytime soon. And part of the reason for that is because what's been triggered for the person who, I'm going to say, was the wounded party, that's just how I'm going to refer to that person, the person who's currently weighing their feelings and ultimately holds the cards, I guess. This experience that they had here has brought up a lot of other stuff. It's a situation where this current event that has occurred has triggered pain from old situations that were similar, but also has brought up a lot of other things that are somewhat related, but have been around for a long time and have not been fully processed or dealt with. I just see for a while they're not even going to be willing to even think about this or look at it. They're doing whatever they can to just sort of avoid it and keep themselves occupied with other things. There's no sort of there's no energy around sort of trying to sort through this now at all. It's something that they will have to deal with, though, for sure. Because coming out, you have the Two of Cups upright. I mean, I think both of the people here know and understand what this relationship really truly is. And it's a tough situation because I'm just gonna take some cards off the top here. Okay, so this is something that is, this relationship, this connection is something that is, it's meant to be on a couple of levels. It's not an easy relationship. It's not something that is super, it requires work, it requires dedication, it requires consistency, and it's a challenging connection, but it's also very divinely supported, and it's something that is set forth to kind of shape and evolve the two people that are involved in it. You know, before I go forward, I just want to recap here because we've had the Two of Cups come out. We had the Two of Pentacles come out. We had the Ten of Cups come out. We've had the High Priestess. We've had the Magician. You know, there are lots of very powerful cards here, and I wanted to recap those cards because of what I'm about to say. I think to all outsiders, this relationship looks like it's done and over with. And I think most people who would be outside observers about this would probably say that it probably should be done and over with permanently. It's not. And I feel like both people are aware of that. So coming out, I have the Ten of Wands and the Six of Swords upright. Both are upright. This is something that's going to be very painful and very, very, very challenging to work through. But it's something that will be worked through and will be dealt with and processed because this 10 is very solidly closing out a cycle. The Six of Swords energy represents a change and a transition from one place to the next and releasing old baggage that no longer serves us. So these two coming out does, it does show that the things that need to be processed emotionally will be, so that these two people can try to come back together and move beyond this thing that has occurred. And it's almost as if this separation, this coming apart at the seams that happened, it needed to occur because it's really the only way that these two people can in order for these two people to feel that they could move forward together and both be aware that they couldn't dominate each other, that they couldn't they couldn't have control. Neither of them could have control of this because their connection has a purpose and a life of its own in a way. And so the only way to get this off the ground and to actually get this moving forward so that it can be an experience of these two people being in a relationship with one another is for both of them to be torn apart, be taken from one another, and have to figure out how to work their way back in. And it's when they work their way back in and when they do reconnect, it's at that point that the trust that did not exist between them initially, it becomes established, because they will have an understanding of what the other went through in order to make this something that could even possibly work. I'm just gonna go to this deck. I use this deck mostly as an oracle or guidance deck, and I do want to just pull 2 cards from here just as advice, or additional insight, or whatever comes out in terms of like this reading. I do want to at least do 2. I'm just gonna feel for them. There's one. This one. Okay, I don't read these cards in reversal, so if it's upside down, I'll just leave it. Okay, wow. So the 2 cards coming out here, you have schizophrenia, and that is with integration. And I do think that these cards actually do work very well as advice for this particular reading. So this card, the schizophrenia card, what this card really speaks to is when you find yourself in your head unable to really make a choice. So you can see this person is sort of clinging above, from this great height, and no matter which decision they make, it seems like it's going to lead to them falling, right? So it's that sort of like being in your head, really being unable to pick a path forward, or to really be able to distinguish between what's real and what's not. That's the sort of energy and vibe that's coming from this. The integration card is really about integrating yourself internally so that you don't see yourself anymore as good or bad, or right or wrong, or you sort of like shift out of this notion of a binary, and you realize that who you are is, a little bit different every moment. There's a lot of odd things that happen with humans in terms of who they are, their personalities, even their their emotions and their feelings play such a huge role in that, right? So we as a species are, we're constantly in flux in terms of who we are. And for some people, that's much less pronounced because maybe their lives have a lot of routine and a lot of stability, and maybe they've been with the same person for a long amount of time. And those things do help to settle us a little because people have expectations of us. And so we start to develop habits over a longer period of time, okay? But for other people who don't have that sort of stability yet, or maybe they don't want it, this integration card speaks to realizing that everything in this life, the goal really is not to have the scale tip to one side or the other. The goal is to have it be balanced, to have it be integrated. And that's what has to happen. You have to learn how to accept yourself and sort of integrate love inwardly, loving yourself and loving all aspects of yourself, and halting with the judgment. Once you do that, you'll realize that you're not stuck. It's actually not a situation where you're stuck. You just think that you are because you're segmenting everything into these very black and white sort of results. You're not allowing for any of the gray zone to exist, and you're not allowing for, at that point when you don't allow for anything other than A or B, you're not allowing your brain to try to even look for anything else. And very often the thing you're looking for is the thing you have to sort of fix internally. And when that gets balanced, then you're able to think about things a little bit differently. And suddenly you do see that, there's another option here from just letting go with your hands or letting go with your feet. You realize that maybe there's a net down here and you're not actually going to fall. So that's really solid advice given this reading, right? It's all about realizing that you have work to do and being willing to do that work and see it through, even if it's really painful. And I think that if you can do that, then, you know, these two people in this reading are actually, they are meant to come back together. Absolutely. There are plenty of cards in this reading that point to a yes, a resounding yes. But it's contingent upon doing the work that you both know that you need to do, and being able to come back into the relationship when it does come back together, much wiser, much healthier, much more capable, and also much more willing to do the work that's required in order to make a relationship actually work and last. So I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed that one. I love it when they go well, because when it doesn't go well, it's actually kind of awkward saying that, just because, you know, I know what it's like to be sitting and listening to a reader, and, you know, you definitely have like this, you know, the thing that you want to hear, and when it doesn't click and they say, you know, this is not going to work, or this, you know, I know how that feels, and to know that potentially I'm making someone feel that way, it's tough, but will always read the cards like they come out. And so when a reading goes this way, and it's one that is actually a really beautiful reading, you know, I really enjoy those. So I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it all the way here to the end, please do leave a comment and just say made it to the end. I just, you know, I think it's so awesome when, you know, I see that someone has actually watched all the way through to the end. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please take a moment to do that. And if you want to get alerts when new video content goes up on the channel, make sure you click the bell icon, and give the video a like. Feel free to share it with a friend. If you think someone you know is looking for an answer, you know, absolutely, I'd love it if you would share it. And also, you know, if this resonated with you, just leave a comment and let me know that. I actually really enjoy reading the comments when people, you know, give feedback about, you know, what really stood out to them, and what, you know, what sort of blew their mind, or whatever. That's always fun to get that interaction with you guys. So just, you know, this person's worth it. This person is worth doing the work. And I hope that you decide that you're going to do that. And I hope that they will make the same decision as well, because this could really, really, really be something that's quite good for both of you.